I've increased my vertical jump over 10 inches training like this.
And I want to share how I did it, that way you can do it as well.
And this isn't really a normal YouTube video, I just wanted to make the jump program that I wish I would have had when I was starting to learn to jump higher.
And it's not going to be a perfect routine, but it's going to be a plan that you can take action with. And it's going to be 3 months long, broken up into 3 phases. And it's going to allow you to build up the baseline of strength you need and use that to turn into a more explosive athlete. And all we need to do to increase our vertical is to generate more force into the ground so we can go upwards. That's what Isaac Newton said, at least. People love to overcomplicate it, but you really just need to get stronger and more bouncy. So this is how I go about doing that. In the first couple weeks, I start by getting stronger and building a foundation, mainly doing heavy compound movements and not jumping too much off the bat. I do like to have one jump day, however, it's not too taxing and you're just kind of easing yourself into it. But the main focus is building up strength with these 2 leg days, which they're both the same leg day. It's not about changing it up, it's about progressively overloading that routine. And we just want to get stronger with this workout in the next 4 weeks. And then we're going to start using more powerful exercises and jumping a little bit more and continue with some strength exercises. And it's the same deal with 2 leg days and 1 jumping day in between. And through these next couple of weeks, we jump a little bit more and you'll start to notice that you're going to be jumping higher. Then for the last couple of weeks, we really turn it on and really focus on plyometrics, speed, and some heavy powerful sets in the gym, really exploding with the weight. And for these plyometrics and your heavy sets for leg days, like power cleans and squats, you're going to want to take your time for all of them. Vertical jump is a one-time movement. It's not about endurance, so you want to make sure that you're rested so you can perform each rep with the maximum effort. And if you haven't been working out consistently before this, then you might have to lower the amount of sets and just do what you can, or start with some lighter weight body weight exercises. We all start somewhere, so you just have to challenge yourself with whatever fitness level you might be at. And as I go through these exercises, we are going to be using some heavier sets and reps. So if you haven't done them before, take a little bit of time to learn the form with some lower weight and then build your way up. And just try your best to use good form so you can prevent any injuries or anything like that. Let's get into it though. The first couple weeks is getting stronger and building that foundation. And before we do anything, we want to start with a warm-up. It's important to warm up, especially on leg days, and really important on jumping days, because knee problems are a real thing. So get your body moving. I like to use the bike, but you can use a treadmill, or you can just go for a jog or do some skips. Or if your gym has a sled, then you can drag that. Just get the body active and moving, and then do some dynamic stretching to make sure our body's prepared for the workouts we're about to go through. And if you still feel like you're not ready, then just go through your warm-up again until you got the juices flowing. And then we're ready and we can move on to exercise number 1. The front squat. For this exercise, it's gonna be 5 sets of 5. And like I said, we're building a base of strength here. So we're gonna wanna build up to a weight that really challenges us. We don't need to be insanely strong to jump high, but it definitely helps. That's why we wanna push ourselves in these workouts and try to get a little bit stronger every single week. So by the time you end this little strength phase, you should be stronger than when you started. It's all about progression. But as we do these squats, we're gonna superset it with box jumps. By lifting heavy, we activate our fast twitch muscle fibers, which are responsible for explosive power. And by immediately following it with a plyometric like box jumps, we take advantage of these already activated muscle fibers, allowing us to use them more efficiently for powerful, quick movements. Basically, the heavy front squats prime our muscles for the jumps that follow, helping us get better power and performance. After that, we're gonna go 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps on deadlifts. Like I said, we're just building a base of strength here, and deadlifts is one of the best compound movements we can do to do that. And just have your feet shoulder width apart with the overhand grip. And it's just important to keep in mind to straight back as we go throughout this exercise. And as we get stronger with this one, we're gonna wanna make sure that we keep our form. However, this is a great one to build overall strength, and it's gonna give us a good base for our jumping. And then we can walk into walking lunges for our next exercise. Or you can just add in any single leg movement. We just want to add in a single leg movement to strengthen each leg individually to prevent any imbalances and also improve our flexibility, strength, and balance in each leg. Walking lunges being one of my favorites to accomplish this. However, step-ups, split squats, pistol squats, whatever exercise you like and you want to get stronger at consistently. We also want to target our hamstrings, and to do that we can use the machines doing leg curls, seated or lying down, whatever your gym has, or you can do Nordics if you want to. Just have an exercise that targets those hamstrings because we want to strengthen our legs as a whole. Can't forget about the calves. These ones are straightforward, just lifting up your heels. They're super effective for strengthening our calves, which is important for running and jumping higher. And I like to superset this one with the tibialis raises. This exercise is often neglected. However, by improving that muscle, it's going to improve our balance and prevent shin splints. And there's a few ways you can do the tibialis raises. You can just put your back up against the wall and put your foot about a foot away from the wall and keep your heels on the ground and just lift your toes up as high as possible. It's kind of like a reverse calf raise. And if you want to, you can use a kettlebell as well, just putting your foot through the loop and then doing tibialis raises like that. Honestly, I don't know if I'm doing it right. I've never done it with a kettlebell before, but I know you can do it with a kettlebell, so
just another option.
And then we move into some jumping exercises on a different day. And it's relatively light as jumping isn't the main focus in this first couple of weeks. However, we still want to add it into our routine. And there's some exercises that I think can really help, starting with pogo jumps. These look kind of stupid. I do them in the corner of the gym. However, they're fantastic for improving reactive strength and power in our legs. To perform this exercise, just hop up and down while keeping your legs fairly stiff, using your calves and ankles to bounce off the ground. And it should help us get a little bit more springy. But later in the workout, we're warmed up, we did a little bit of pogo jumps. Now we can do some of the best exercises for vertical jump, which is jumping, which is gonna help us build power and explosiveness in our lower body. And I like to start with standing jumps. And for this movement, you explode upwards as high as you can, and then you wanna land softly on the way down. You wanna absorb the impact and land in a good stance, and you don't wanna hear your feet hit the ground. And if you wanna use a box for this exercise, you can do that as well. Just remember to put maximum effort into each jump that you do. That way we get the most out of this exercise and can increase our vertical and become more explosive. Then we can change up the approach and do it off a 1-2. And basically you're just doing the same thing but with 2 steps. This is gonna help us develop that running approach, coordination, and help us improve our 2-foot approach. Focused on taking a big step going into that jump and jumping off those 2 steps as fast as possible. Again, trying to get as high as you can. And throughout the week, you're gonna wanna add in core exercises and do some stretching. I'll just give you some core exercises that I think are pretty good. They might be a little biased, but the L-sit. Whatever progression you're at, just try to hold it for 20 seconds. And once you can't hold that one anymore, just go to the lower progression and try to hold that for 20 seconds. And leg raises are a great alternative, whether that's hanging from a bar or on the ground. And if you want to, you can do hollow body holds, toes to bar. Yeah, just do whatever you want. World's your oyster. You should stretch though. I have skipped stretching and I regret it now, so if that doesn't scare you straight, I don't know what will. And I'll let you just do your own thing for that one as well. But let's keep moving. Wow, we made it to week 5. Amazing, good job. So now we can move on to more powerful exercises. And for the next couple weeks, 5 through 8, the main focus is gonna be on developing power as well as continuing with some strength exercises. And the first one we're gonna start with is hang cleans. And when we perform this exercise, we're gonna wanna have the bar just above our knees. And then in one fluid motion, we're gonna wanna explode with a shoulder shrug and pulling our arms underneath, catching the bar in a front squat. And just work your way up with lighter weight. It's such a good one to learn. And they boost your power and speed like crazy and just turn us into a unit. So we're gonna wanna add these in. Bulgarian split squats are what we move to next. And they're very painful, but they're awesome because they help us build serious strength in our legs, which means we're gonna be able to jump higher and more explosively. It's a fair trade-off, I guess. Just try to build up strength in each of your legs and really challenge yourself. Romanian deadlifts. And for this exercise, just lower down with your spine in a neutral position, holding a slight bend in your legs. RDLs really help strengthen the posterior chain or the muscles on the backside of our body, which plays a significant role in things like jumping, and it should help us boost our vertical a little. And in the routine, we superset these RDLs with a single-legged glute raise, placing our shoulders up against the bench with a 90-degree bend in our knee, and holding it at the top for a little bit. When you do this one, the glutes, they should be burning. And then we have calf raises again, except it's an explosive version. So with one leg, place the ball of your foot on a ledge, and keep your heel parallel with the ground, and then explode up. And later in the week, we do the jumping day, which is similar to the ones from the previous weeks, although we have a little bit more jumping. Starting with pogo jumps, which we've already done before, and then moving into single leg hops. And these are great for 1-foot jumpers and really help us develop that power, balance, and coordination needed to explode off one. Just do some hops on each leg, and this plyometric should help us up our bounce. This is Sophie. Just found her roaming around the old neighborhood. I'm pretty sure she has cataracts. She has no clue where she's going. Then we move into the 2-step jump and just really try to explode and jump as high as you can before finishing up this jump day with some loaded jumps. Holding some dumbbells or some weight by your sides, perform a squat and then just explode up into a jump. It's the same as the standing jump, just you got some weight on you. But it's good to have that extra weight because it's gonna help us increase our power and strength in our lower body. After doing this for a while, we finally moved on to the last couple of weeks where we're really focusing on plyometrics, exploding, and just becoming overall more explosive. And the workout routine starts with back squats, and you wanna go heavy with these, and you wanna move the weight in a controlled but explosive manner, and really try to challenge yourself and get stronger. And as we do these heavy squats, we're gonna superset them with assisted jumps. It's gonna give you a boost in that upward movement. These exercises can significantly improve our power output by allowing us to jump higher than we typically could, basically teaching our muscles to fire more powerfully and helping us get higher unassisted jumps in the future. Then we move into some more plyometrics with depth jumps, which is when you drop from an elevated surface and spring up as fast as you can. You want that impact on the ground to be as little as possible and really just work on firing off impact. It's gonna help you be more reactive and really help with in-game dunks.
And then we can move into our powerful movement for the day, which is power cleans. And we're going pretty heavy on these. And this is a tough movement to learn, and I'm still learning it myself, but it's really gonna help us become very athletic. And starting in a deadlift position, explode up, stand and shrug, pulling the weight upwards towards your shoulders and drop underneath it, catching the barbell in a front squat again. This is just gonna be a great exercise to learn for future use, as it's gonna help us so much with our athleticism. The next exercise is seated pistol squats, and we can add weight to this one to make it a little bit more difficult. We want the box to allow us to get to a solid depth, and you can always do the exercise with body weight. It's gonna help us build up some strength in our legs, and it should help us with the pistol squat as well. And then we can do Nordics. My gym has like a cool little thing that I like to do them on, but all you need is something to pin your heels down. Just find a way that works for you and then fight the negative as much as you can and try to hold that way down before pushing yourself up and contracting with your glutes and hammies. And if you need to hinge at the hips a little bit, that's okay. Just try your best to get some good reps. Kettlebell swings. Kettlebell swings are all about hinging at the hips and powering the kettlebell upwards with a thrust. You can probably go heavier than 20 pounds. I forgot to record at the gym. They're gonna help strengthen our glutes and our hamstrings. Both are gonna help us jump higher. So it's a nice one to finish off our workout with. And finally, we have our last jumping day, which we're gonna carry out for these last couple of weeks. And it's adding more jumping to our routine as we're starting to focus a lot more on plyometrics, starting with standing jumps or box jumps, and then moving into two-step jumps. The best way to jump higher is to jump, so that's why you're kind of seeing these repeating exercises. And then we move into a new exercise, max height jumps, which I guess isn't really a new exercise, you're still just jumping. This time you get a full approach though, trying to jump as high as you can, and you can jump off one or jump off two. The goal is to just jump as high as you can. But by jumping up and trying to touch something that you can't do yet, like trying to touch the rim, or trying to get your first dunk, or trying to put your elbow in the rim, it's gonna help us so much. So you really wanna just try to jump as high as you can and try to hit a new target, which if you've been following the routine, you should be able to jump higher now. And maybe you can do something new now, so try it out. Maybe throw down a windmill, I don't know. The world's your oyster now. Just make sure to get some rest in between those sets so you get maximum effort in each jump. And when you're done, we can move into sprints, continuing to go all out for these 30-meter sprints and taking our time in the recovery, as the main point isn't to get all gassed out, it's to train those quick reactive muscles. This video doesn't cover everything, and if you're into jumping, I encourage you to learn more about the topic. I tried my best to summarize it though, and I hope it helps. If there's anything that's helped you with your dunking and stuff like that, please comment it down for people below. And let me know how this can be improved, because I'm actually following this routine as well. After 3 months of this plan though, we'll all be East Bayans, so I'm excited. Excited. And I'll be doing some follow-up videos, maybe like a dunk day vlog. Yeah. So if you want to see if it works or you're superstitious, then follow along. But that's all I got for you, so have a great day. Really wish my apartment had AC. Doesn't help that I'm wearing a long sleeve.